Montgomery's surname meaning and history presented by coadb.com, where we offer affordable genealogy research. Surname meaning: it is an English and Scottish and Northern Irish habitational surname denoting a person from two places named Montgomery that are located in Calvados in Normandy, France. There is Sainte-Foy and Saint-Germain. Early bearers of the surname included Robert de Montgomery in Renfrewshire, Scotland, documented around the year 1165. Fulco de Montgomery in Devonshire, England in 1273. Lucia de Montgomery in Nottinghamshire in 1273. And Gregory Montgomery in Shropshire in 1273. Noble titles held. There was first Roger de Montgomery. He was an advisor to William the Conqueror, and he was created Earl of Shrewsbury around the year 1071. And he owned around 159 manors throughout England, and was the son of Roger de Montgomery, who died in 1055. He was Lord of Montgomery in Normandy, France. And Roger was succeeded by his son Hugh, who fought against the King of Norway at the Battle of Anglesey Sound in 1098. And on the right, I believe we see Arundel Castle, which either Roger or Hugh had built. Alexander Montgomery, keeper of Brodrick Castle, which we see on the right, and Privy Councillor, was created Lord Montgomery in 1445. He was the son of John Montgomery of Ardrossan, who was the son of John Montgomery, who was the 9th Laird of Eaglesham, a descendant of Robert Montgomery, the first Laird of Eaglesham, who died in 1180. And ultimately they descended from Philip Montgomery, who was born in Pembroke, Wales. Earl of Eglinton is a title in the Peerage of Scotland that was created in 1507 for Hugh Montgomery, the 3rd Lord Montgomery. And here we see a list of the Earls of Eglinton, and all the way through, it looks like the 19th Earl. And here we see on the right, we see Alexander Montgomery, the 6th Earl, Alexander Montgomery, the 9th Earl, Alexander Montgomery, the 10th Earl, Archibald Montgomery, the 11th Earl, and lastly, Colonel Hugh Montgomery, the 12th Earl, who died in 1819. Viscount Montgomery of Great Ards was a title in the Peerage of Ireland created in 1622 for Sir Hugh Montgomery, a soldier known as one of the founding fathers of the Ulster Scots, son of Adam Montgomery, the 5th Laird of Bradestane. And Hugh Montgomery, the 3rd Viscount, was elevated to Earl of Mount Alexander in 1661. And here on the right we see a list of the Earls of Mount Alexander all the way through the 5th Earl Thomas, who died in 1757. The Montgomery Baronetcy of Skelmorlie was created in the Baronetage of Nova Scotia in 1628 for Sir Robert Montgomery, a descendant of George Montgomery, the 1st Laird of Skelmorlie, who was the son of Alexander Montgomery, 1st Lord Montgomery. Here we see a list of the Skelmorlie baronets all the way through the 6th baronet, Sir Hugh Montgomery, who died in 1735. And here we see an old photograph of Skelmorlie Castle. The Montgomery Baronetcy of Magpie Hill in the county of Peebles was a title created in the Baronetage of Great Britain in 1774 for William Montgomery, Lord Advocate of Scotland and Member of Parliament. He was the grandson of William Montgomery, Esquire, who purchased the estate around the year 1712. And he was succeeded by his son, seen here, Sir George Montgomery, 2nd Baronet, who represented Peeblesshire in Parliament. There's also 3 daughters of the family, including Barbara, Elizabeth, and Anne. The Montgomery Baronetcy of Stanhope was created in 1801 for Sir James Montgomery, a Scottish advocate, judge, country landowner, agriculturist, and politician who was the son of William Montgomery, deputy sheriff of Peeblesshire, and he was succeeded by his son Sir James Montgomery, who we see on the right, 2nd Baronet, who was a lawyer and politician. And here we see one of the family estates, as well as another, Stobo Castle. The Montgomery Baronetcy of The Hall, in county of Donegal, was created in the Baronet of the United Kingdom in 1808 for Sir Conyngham Montgomery, a member of Parliament for Mitchell, Donegal, and Yarmouth. He served with distinction as a cavalry officer in India and was the son of Captain Alexander Montgomery. Here we see a list of the Montgomery Baronets of the Hall all the way through the 5th Baronet, Sir Alexander Cecil Montgomery, who died in 1939. And now on to the landed gentry. There was Montgomery of Garboldisham in County Norfolk. They descended from one George Montgomery of Broomlands, who was born in 1614, the son of Hugh Montgomery of Auchenhood. Montgomery of Bellew in County Louth in Ireland. In the 19th century, they were represented by Richard Thomas Montgomery. He was a Justice of the Peace, High Sheriff, and a member of the 3rd Light Dragoons. Montgomery of Convoy House in Donegal, Ireland. They were represented, looks like in the 19th century, by Robert George Montgomery, Justice of the Peace and Deputy Lieutenants. Montgomery of Ben Varden in Antrim in Ireland. They descended from Robert Montgomery, Esquire of Glenarm, who was born in 1711. And in the 19th century, they were represented by Robert James Montgomery, Justice of the Peace, Deputy Lieutenant, and Captain of the 5th Dragoon Guards. He served in, looks like, Crimea, and was High Sheriff of Londonderry. Montgomery of Crilly House in County Tyrone in Ireland, represented in the 19th century by Vaughan Montgomery. Montgomery of Blessingbourne in Tyrone, Ireland, represented in the 19th century by Hugh de Fellenberg Montgomery. And they descended from Reverend Nicholas Montgomery of Darrybrook. Montgomery of Grey Abbey in, where is this in County Down, Ireland, represented in the 19th century by Major General William Edward Montgomery. Montgomery of Killy in County Cork, Ireland, represented in the 19th century by William Montgomery, and they descended from Reverend James Montgomery, and they descended from Hugh Montgomery of Ballynagown. Here, next is Montgomery of Ballydrain in Ireland. They were, one member of the family was John Montgomery of Ballydrain, born 1832, captain of the Queen's Royal Antrim Rifles. Notables included Richard Montgomery, an Ulster Scots soldier who first served in the British Army. He later became a Major General in the Continental Army during the American Revolutionary War. Gustav Adolf Montgomery, born 1790, a Finnish colonel who served in the Finnish War, and descended from James David Montgomery, who fought in the Swedish Army during the 30 Years' War, who was son of Lieutenant Colonel Jacob Montgomery. William Montgomery, a Scottish military doctor with the East India Company in the 19th century, and later head of the medical department at Singapore. James Montgomery, born 1771, Scottish-born hymn writer and poet. Wrote on topics such as humanitarian causes such as the abolition of slavery and the exploitation of child chimney sweeps. Early settlers to the New World included Peter Montgomery, came to Maryland in 1666. Adam Montgomery came to Boston in 1694. William arrived in New Jersey in 1702. Esther Montgomery came to Virginia in 1724. And Patrick Montgomery arrived in Pennsylvania in 1756. And if you enjoyed this video and would like to learn more about genealogy, please visit us at coadb.com, link in the description. Thank you very much.